Greetings. Our objective today is to facilitate your understanding of how Jack in the Box makes commercials. And while that's a creative process, this presentation will show how an ad is made from start to finish, using a decidedly uncreative tool, the flowchart.
Naturally, the whole process begins with, no, not a panic attack, but rather the product.
In this case, the product is the All-American Jack, featured in the 2011 Super Bowl.
Let's light this candle. First, Jack in the Box marketing comes up with a brief. At this phase, many time-tested adjectives are proposed, like crispy, crunchy, tangy, craveable, classic, cheap, or in the case of the All-American Jack, none of the above, because the appeal of the All-American Jack is that it's basic. The Jack in the Box marketing team then briefs the secret weapon account team, who in turn brief the creatives. These are the people at the agency who wear Converse and dress in black, and look at you with the blank stare when you mention Duran Duran. Working in pairs, the writers and art directors generate ideas. Over the course of 2 weeks, they present these ideas to the associate creative directors, who kill 90% of them, either because they're lame or were already done back in 2003. The concepts that survive are presented to the creative director, who in turn kills half of them, causing the process to start over, usually during a weekend. Eventually, scripts are tweaked, polished, and selected to be presented to Nick Fletcher and his team. Meanwhile, on a parallel path, in a different set of cubicles, the food shoot production is beginning. This is separate from the commercial production because directors who can make a bun look yummy aren't the same directors who can make you laugh. The agency creates a shot list for the food portion of the TV spot. It's presented to marketing. They make comments, the agency makes revisions, and so on until a final shot list is approved. The secret weapon team works with a food shoot production company to determine how much it'll cost. Then that number is reduced and the new number is presented to marketing. Once approved, the food shoot goes into prep mode. Meanwhile, back at the commercial production, the one featuring Jack, the agency and production company prepare cost estimates for each potential spot. Big-ticket items include the set design, locations, talent payments, special effects, lighting, sound, props, and catering, as well as niche categories like animal training, puppeteers, and walkie-talkie rentals. All in all, nearly 100 different specialists. Oh, do we mention the lawyers? They look over scripts to assess risk. Who will it piss off? Who might try to sue us? Based on this info, the agency decides if they want to subject Linda to 7,000 complaint emails or just start the process over again.
Meanwhile, the agency presents scripts to Nick and Andrea, who choose spots based on how well they communicate the product and price and, of course, how funny they are.
The scripts they've chosen go to Terry Graham for final approval.
Once Terry approves a spot, it's presented to menu marketing and passed on to the Hispanic team, who determines if it's appropriate for their market. 7 times out of 10 it is, and the spot gets translated, which triggers another flurry of pre-production prep. Now the script is sent to the TV networks for pre-clearance.
They may reject spots because of sex, violence, religious references, language, or just because they feel like it. But once they give the green light, pre-production begins. The agency producer and line producer develop a shooting schedule and hire the other specialists required to bring the commercial to life. But before this can happen, the director spends a day with the storyboard artist and creates a blueprint for the spot called a storyboard. Once that's done, they hire the location scout, who drives all over to find the perfect place to shoot, plus the set designer, the prop master, the wardrobe designer, and the casting director who calls actors, or as they're also known, waiters, to come in for auditions. At this point, the call goes out to our star and brand icon Jack, who's actually played by an actor named Jack, unless it's a stunt or involves driving a car or a horse. For the other roles, hundreds of actors audition, and the 10 or so best are called back for each role. These callback sessions are referred to in the industry as callbacks. Once the cast is chosen, the wardrobe stylists get their measurements, then gets their real measurements and puts together their wardrobe, getting 2 of everything because accidents happen. Meanwhile, the food shoot is in full swing. The director, a team of food stylists, plus the agency and menu marketing team work together to make the food look delicious. This happens on a soundstage and takes about 10 hours per product. Back at the commercial pre-production, the location scout is going on. The team visits possible locations and selects one based on cost, permits, car noise, plane noise, and lots of other things normal people don't think about. Once a location is chosen, they go back for a more detailed tech scout, blocking out every shot, selecting the lenses to use, and figuring out the logistics of managing 20 trucks and 100 cast and crew. Once all of that's done, it's time for the pre-production meeting.
Nick and Andrea sit down with the agency and production company to go over the shooting board, casting, locations, and sets, and eat snacks.
The next day is the big day, the shoot.
Here's when you get to see just how many people go into creating these commercials. There's the director, line producer, first and second assistant directors, the production managers and their serfs, the production assistants, the script supervisor, gaffer, lighting crew, best boy, grips, key grip, prop master, production designer, director of photography, first, second, and third camera assistants, wardrobe, makeup, cooler heads who handle Jack's head, the truck driver, catering, and craft service.
The shoot takes 10 to 12 hours, sometimes 14, just for a 30-second commercial. Once it's over, the process is about halfway done. The footage goes on to the editor, who combines it with the food footage into a rough cut. The agency creatives review his cut and make changes. The director reviews their cut and makes changes.
The agency presents their cut to Nick and Andrea, and they make their changes, and finally present the cut to Terry Graham. Once she approves it, the agency presents it to the product managers, and the whole time, the same detailed process is going on with the Hispanic team and their version and reviews.
The rough cut is brought to a recording studio where the agency works with a mixer to record Jack's voice and add it to the spot along with the music and sound effects. The rough cut footage is color corrected and transferred to tape. Then the spot goes to the online edit where the logo treatment is put on the end.
It's finally finished. Well, almost. Nick, Andrea, Terry, and Menu Marketing watch it one last time for final approval.
Then both the general market and Hispanic spots are sent to the networks and appear on the air, on carefully selected TV networks, on specific shows to make sure it is seen by the right people so that they go to the restaurants and buy the product. And that is how it's done, and has been done more than 400 times since Jack came back. The end.